Hello and welcome to Megatrip, the travel channel that inspires you to adventure. And this time, you join us again in Georgia, but in Sighnaghi. Sighnaghi is known as the city of love, the town of love, here in eastern Georgia. Not a bad spot. Anyway, here's what's coming up on this episode of Megatrip. So, homemade local grape juice. We are staying at the frankly amazing, a little bit weird, but frankly amazing Bodbay Hotel. Exactly what date? I don't know. As I often say, you Google it. You can actually see all the way to Azerbaijan. Here comes your montage. Through the magic of editing, you now know more than I do about what's going to happen on this episode of Megatrip. But like I said, we're in Sighnaghi, what's known as the village of love or the town of love. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a second, but we are in eastern Georgia, about 2 hours drive away from Tbilisi, and we are staying at the frankly amazing, a little bit weird, but frankly amazing Bodbay Hotel, which is set up in the mountains with a beautiful view over the valley and over the town of Sighnaghi. And it really is a kind of cool, tranquil place. At the moment, we're just in the woods outside the main village, outside the main town, in this eastern bit of Georgia, so on the border or close to the border with Armenia and actually with Azerbaijan as well. Now, Sighnaghi is known as the village of love or the town of love, and it's a little bit like a cross between Vegas and Gretna Green, if you like. So it is the village of love, as here they have a 24-hour constant wedding registry, so traditionally people can escape here, elope here and go and get married. Anyway, let's have a little look around this beautiful town. Cue the music. So the original settlement here in Sighnaghi is a medieval town. Exactly what date? I don't know. As I often say, you Google it. And you can come and see some of the old fortifications, some of the old walls here. And we're starting here at the gate, at Sighnaghi Gate, on the old medieval wall. You climb up through some rickety wooden steps to a nice little view, I suspect, of the valley below. And all the way back up the medieval wall. So, homemade local grape juice.
She finds it at our house.
Absolutely delicious.
Not cold juice, grape juice.
Yeah, okay, that is really good. That is really good. Yeah. I'm going to try a pomegranate on the way back. I'm going to get a pomegranate on the way back.
At that point, we moved on to tasting different kinds of juices. From homemade wine to Chacha, the local spirit, in this case local moonshine brewed at home. Here it is in all of its glory.
So Sighnaghi is in the Kakheti region, and just outside of the main Sighnaghi town, there's a great little viewpoint. And here you can see down in the valley the wall that surrounds Kakheti, the Kakheti region, over the plains. And in the distance, if you go just a little bit further towards the edge of the wall for Sighnaghi, you can actually see all the way to Azerbaijan, where Baku is the capital that you might have heard of from F1. But right there in the distance, those mountains, that is Azerbaijan. Stunning. say, Georgia is famous for its unique cuisine. So we found ourselves a lovely little restaurant here in the mountains in Sighnaghi. Nice little view, as you can see, as you get from over around here. Down there. And we've started to get our food arriving. Like I said, Georgian food's quite unique. That's tautology. It is unique. I've never had anything quite like it. It's a real mix. Lots of barbecued meats, lots of stews, lots of bread, famous dumplings. So now we're going to sit down and enjoy our little meal with a view. Here comes your montage. So down here in Sighnaghi, you can get into the old town with these beautiful cobbled streets. Lots of tourists, as you can see. Local produce, these scarves, etc. Herbs for your local style dishes. Hats. I do quite like some of the woolly hats they have here, but it's a little bit warm. I'm definitely not gonna wear one back in the Middle East. Maybe I'll get one and give it away to a commenter. Hello, hi. Ice cream. There's plenty to buy down here. Like I said, the local crafts, the blankets, you see those everywhere. The hats made out of the wool from the mountain sheep and mountain goats. And of course, anything wine related. So that could be wine-based ice cream. That could be wine itself, that could be grape juice, and of course that can be Chacha. Now Chacha is the local spirit distilled here, very similar to a grappa. Now we've had some at a very fancy winery, that was quite nice, but we've also found ourselves some local moonshine. You can also get that here in a little plastic bottle sold on the roadside, in this case by a lovely elderly couple who had 2 hectares of grapes and vines. So we'll have a little bit of that. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. This is a Christian country like many other countries, and Sighnaghi itself has an interesting history. Historically, the population was predominantly Armenian. We're quite close to the Armenian border. Now, however, it's more like 50-50, or actually more Georgians. And one of the beautiful things to come and see here in Sighnaghi is the Sighnaghi St. George's Basilica. This beautiful old church standing on the side of the hill here. Let's go have a look. Check this out. Let's have ourselves a little Megatrip montage. Okay then, dear Megatripper, that is it. That is it for this episode from Sighnaghi here in eastern Georgia, from the wonderful Bodbay Hotel. I'm not sure how much I've put in this video of that, but staying at a lovely place up here. This amazing, beautiful, tranquil old town. A little bit touristy, but definitely worth a visit. Well, if you've liked what you've seen, you know what to do. Hit the little thumbs up. It really does make a difference. Just helps the video get noticed. I'm sure I've got something wrong. If you've seen that, do leave me a comment down below, or if there's something else we should be doing with our time here in Georgia. And of course, if you're not subscribed, please do go ahead and subscribe to the video, to the channel, in fact, to Megatrip. It costs you nothing, just means you get a little alert every single time I drop new content here on Megatrip. So please go ahead,
Like, comment, and subscribe.
That's it from here in Eastern Georgia. Join me next time here on Megatrip.